Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we will be creating a fun project which involves many of the techniques that I have used in the past, all in one card. Well, we have some stenciling, layered stamping, die cutting, embossing and ink blending with the new Positively Saturated Inks by SSS Stamp. Before we begin creating this fun project, I would like to thank you all for being here with me today. Your love and support is really motivating. I would appreciate if you could take a minute to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post a video. Let's get started. We will begin with the background panel for our card. Here I am using 4x5 1/4 80-pound white cardstock. I am using the SSS Stamp Positively Saturated Inks in the shade of pink to ink blend this background panel. We have 3 shades of pink here: Taffy, Sweets and Bubblegum. I am using a blending brush that I got from Amazon. These inks are absolutely amazing. I love how easy and juicy they are. I did use these inks to stamp layering flowers and leaves, which I will be using later in this video. I have a video where I did a lot of stamping using these Positively Saturated inks. I will leave a link to that in the description box below. I started with the lightest shade of pink, working up to the darkest to get an ombre look. I love how easy it was to blend these inks over each other. I was going for a very light-handed look, but you can add multiple layers of color for a deeper, more intense background. You will see that I used a post-it tape to protect my fingers and from getting any ink smudges all over the background panel. With just one layer of ink blending, I love the beautiful coverage I got with these Positively Saturated inks. Let's make this background panel more interesting and more up for the season of love, for the season of Valentines. Here I am using the tiny heart stencil from Altenew to add some texture to my background. I secured the stencil to my background panel using a temporary purple tape. I am using a pigment ink to blend and create little beautiful hearts on my background. You will see I am again using a small blending brush to blend the pigment ink all over the tiny gaps in the stencil. Once I was done with the stenciling, I wanted to add some sparkle to the little hearts. But here's where I made a mistake. I should have made sure that my background panel that I just ink blended should have been completely dry before stenciling the little tiny hearts. Now that I poured all the embossing powder over this panel, hoping to get tiny sparkly hearts, it turns out that my entire background panel caught hold of the embossing powder. Well, I'm okay with that too. I love that not just the hearts but my entire background has a sparkle. I used the heat gun to heat fix all of the sparkle embossing powder and I love how this background turned out. Now that our background is ready, let's work on the focal point for our card. For this, I am using the little pink flowers that I created in my last video. These are from the Flowering Sisters stamp set from Altenew. I love how perfectly they match with my pink background. Just to make everything a little less pink and add a subtle tone, I decided to give my flowers a little white base. I used the little tag dies to create 2 tags, one in white and the other one in the lightest shade of pink, both of which will go behind my flowers. I just gave it a lightest touch of pink on one of the edges of each tag. Well, why not add a little more fun to our card? I am using the SSS Stamp Pinpoint Starlet embossing folder to create a little texture on one of our tags. I am using the debossed side of my embossed panel, which is as beautiful as the embossed side that I have used in most of my previous cards. I added a little twine to both our tags, and all we are left with is assembling all the elements and finding a perfect sentiment for our card. I make a U shape on the twine and run it through the punched hole on the tag. Then all I do is take the loose ends of the twine and bring it through the U-shaped gap to create a knot. Next, I went ahead and stuck both the tags using a strong double-sided tape and used some foam tape to stick the flowers. Once everything was in place, I just tucked in the leaves under the flowers. For my sentiment, I used the word die from the Flowering Cistus die set and cut out the letter U thrice to give it some dimension. Then I went ahead and stamped and heat embossed a little sentiment from the Build a Flower stamp set, again by Altenew. Our background panel is now completely ready. I stuck it over a 110-pound pre-folded card base using a strong double-sided tape. I cut out all the extra twine that was hanging over the card panel. And well, even though we have such a sparkly background, a little more shine won't hurt. As always, I am using my Spectrum Noir glitter brush pen to add shine to our sentiment and the darker shades of pink and green on our little bouquet. Here's a look at our finished card. I love how this turned out. Not only did we use a variety of techniques for this card, I was also able to use the stamped and die cut images, which saved so much of my time. I hope you had fun watching today's video and got inspired. Tag me on my Instagram at rp_shutterbug with fun pictures of your projects. Also, mention your thoughts about today's video and some card ideas and techniques that you would like to see in my future videos in the comment section below. Thanks again for joining me today. I would love for you to become a subscriber to my channel, and if you do subscribe, make sure to hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple of other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much. See you in my next video. Until next time, stay safe.